All right, guys, we are here with the Morgans to talk UFC 326. The BMF belt is up for grabs. We're going to start with the first fight of the evening, guys. What's up? How have y'all been?
How you guys doing?
Man, good to see you.
Good. So, y'all in a fight camp right now? Yeah, but are we prepping for a fight, boys?
We got our names in the hat, so hopefully we can get something going.
I was listy released, and it had your weight class on there and record, and I was like, oh, he's looking for an opponent.
Yeah, we're looking for opponents right now. So
That gets sewed up. If not, I did see he has a Charleston card later in the year as well, another one. That last one was pretty.
yeah,
Last one was pretty hype.
Now the
Yeah.
homeless shelter.
Let's start with Gregory Rodriguez, RoboCop versus Bruno the Hulk Fiera. Gregory Rodriguez coming in at 18-6. He is 6'3", fights out of the orthodox stance. There's no age discrepancy this time. They're both born in 92. The Hulk is coming in 15-2. He is 5'10", just a little bit shorter. And there's a 3-inch reach advantage to RoboCop. Guys, let's go ahead and start with you guys on where you're leaning on this one. How are y'all feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I love RoboCop personally. I'm not really too for sure with Fiera, but it looks like an even matchup. I mean, you got 13 and 15 going toe to toe. I'm a fan of RoboCop, but that does not mean, Fiera can't put him out. So I'm gonna say I'm just gonna keep it smart, and I'm gonna go with RoboCop, and I'm gonna say he's gonna throw a heavy round 2 knockout.
uh, to go off of that, I agree. I think these guys are both pretty evenly matched, despite the physiques. Bruno's a little bit like I don't know. I guess you would say pudgier compared to RoboCop, but he has a lot of he throws a lot of volume, so he's always staying busy, which I think will keep RoboCop back a little bit. He's not going to be in there exchanging as much. I see them being a little bit gun shy throughout it all, and I think RoboCop will walk away with a decision victory.
Where I'm leaning at in these matchups where it kind of seems like they're par for par. Like Bruno's not a bad at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Gregory is not either. They both have known to have a little bit of knockout power, good striking. I feel like whenever those all line up together where it seems like they're evenly matched, that a lot of the fight is like stall kind of, where they're kind of both know what they're good at, and they're both kind of good at the same things. I think the height advantage is going to be big for Gregory Rodriguez. He's not going to want to get close to Bruno and give him opportunities to throw because he's just so thick for that weight class being so short. He's got a wide body. Got a wide head too. So I'm going to go with Gregory Rodriguez here. I think he's going to utilize the reach advantage. It's also, I feel like, harder to swing upward than downward. So I think it's going to come out to Gregory Rodriguez outpointing Bruno Fiera. Probably like a 2-1, but I'm going Gregory Rodriguez by decision.
Absolutely. And that's kind of what we're seeing from the Vegas side, too. Gregory is coming in at the minus 205, slight favorite odds, with Bruno at the plus 158. So even Vegas is already calling this kind of a decisive one way.
Might get some money on the decision, though, because it looks like both their fight times are less than 15 minutes. Gregory's is at like 9 minutes exactly almost, and Bruno's averaging 6 minutes and 27 seconds. Might get some good money on decision.
Yeah, he might.
Where are you going with Tommy pick?
I'm just going to be contrary. I'm going to go Bruno. I also like Bruno Mars songs. He's one of my favorite racially ambiguous singers. So
He's not racially ambiguous. He knows what he is.
I don't. So for that, I'm going Bruno. Yeah, his fights haven't really lasted very long. He's got a lot of striking power, and I could see him getting a couple good hits in this and taking it for a decision. So.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, for the next fight of the evening, we have Drew Dober versus Michael Johnson as a lightweight belt. Drew Dober's coming in at 28-15 and 1 no contest. He is 5'8" and fights out of the southpaw position. Michael Johnson is 25-19. He is 5'10" and will have a 3-inch reach advantage. He also fights out of the southpaw stance. And there's only a 2-year age discrepancy between the two. Michael Johnson is the older fighter. We'll go ahead and start with this one, Tommy. You want to go first?
Sure. I'm seeing a higher level of grappling out of him. So he's showing Michael Johnson is showing higher takedown defense and a higher takedown accuracy. And anytime you're going to have a higher wrestling, I just feel like he's got a slight edge on him. Because right now Vegas is putting this at a very similar. Both are minus 106 and minus 120. So this is a coin toss kind of fight. It could really go either way. Jay, what are you thinking?
It's tough for me because I'm a real big fan of Drew Dober. He's a fan favorite kind of guy. He likes putting on the exciting fights, and I think that's why his wrestling stats kind of skew the other way because he wants to do what everyone wants to see and be the fan favorite. But he's been on the opposite end of that as well in the past couple fights where he, almost knocks somebody out and then gets knocked out himself 60 seconds later, which is rough. So it makes you think, is his coach telling him to be who he's been or what he needs to do to win? Because I think those are two totally different people. I think he'd be a lot more reserved and defensive a little bit, maybe not put his chin out there so much chasing knockouts if he were to change his game plan from what he's been doing. But Michael Johnson's also a very smart fighter. He's fought some of the top names like in the past, like Dustin Poirier. He has a win over Daniel Zellhuber, who's an up-and-coming talent, new. He's got some good recent wins. Going off of that, just going off of what Drew Dober's been in the past and what we've seen from Drew Dober, I think Michael Johnson stays on the safe side of things, maybe points him up a little bit, and Drew Dober kind of just is trying to really lay all of his power into every shot and get the knockout that everybody wants to see, and may even get caught by Michael Johnson on something because Michael Johnson does have that knockout power as well. So I'm going Michael Johnson money line. I'll be aggressive. Decision.
Yeah, I think that's a safe call. I think we can't rule out the fact that Drew Dober has that crazy stat where like he doesn't lose to black guys.
That is a stat that needed mention, Tommy.
I did not know that.
I thought that would be something you have in your pockets.
No,
I don't know
wow.
what his record is, but it's wild that like he doesn't lose to black guys. But I do think he's facing a tough challenge here with Michael Johnson. I think Michael Johnson, like you said, Jay, he just came off that win against an up and newcomer. Drew Dober, I think he's on a losing streak right now where he's just been bloodied and battered up. So I do think these two are like great journeyman fighters who are just they step in the octagon and they literally like do not care. They just throw and they have a good time. So it'll be an entertaining fight for sure. But I do see Michael Johnson riding that momentum of his last win, and I see him getting the win here in this one. But it'll be super exciting to watch. So
Absolutely.
I think great minds think alike. Obviously, we're twins, so I see Johnson pointing him out like you were saying, Jay, and I think he sneaks by. And it's really honestly these guys, like Chance was saying, they're journeymen. They don't care to swing and bang. But I think it's the same type of concept. This is foreshadowing too for my prediction with the BMF. But it's really the smarter fighter that will kind of win. Actually, this fight and I think the previous fight as well, the RoboCop and the other gentleman. So yeah, I think if whoever fights smarter will point them out and win decision. So I think it's gonna be Johnson.
Gotcha. Tommy, what's Vegas telling us on what they think?
Vegas, it's a coin flip.
Coin flip.
But real quick, I did look up a picture of Michael Johnson, and that is a real black-looking guy, too. That's not even that kind of black.
We'll see if that stat has any truth this weekend then, because he's got one. That is cool to say. He's got one.
Next.
All right. In the next fight, we have Rob Font coming in at 22-9. Average fight time 13 minutes. So almost goes the distance every time. He's 5'8", 71-inch reach. He fights out of the orthodox fighting position or fighting stance. He's going to have a 4-inch reach advantage on his opponent, Raul Rosas Jr., who is 11-1. He is 5'9" and has a 67-inch reach, and he is a switch stance fighter. He is a lot younger. Jesus.
17 years.
17 years younger than his opponent. As you know, he debuted at 18, I think like 2 or 3 years ago. Very young into the UFC, but he's also got a couple years under his belt now. Guys, you want to go ahead and start with this one?
Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna. Okay, hold on. What are the betting odds, Tommy? Can you fill me in?
Absolutely. Right now, Paul Rosas Jr. is coming at the favorite at minus 230, and Rob Font is plus 176.
Okay, so this is me just being a fighter and having that fighter IQ. I'm gonna go against the betting odds actually, and I'm gonna stamp this right here and say we're gonna see a fraud check. So yeah, Rob Font is like a veteran, and Rosas has his first test, I think, legitimately. So I think we see an instance. If you guys ever, if you followed who's the one with the long hair and the curls? with
Clay
the
Guida.
no.
Troy
He
Polamalu.
just fought
It could be Troy Polamalu. He is a Steelers fan.
we're gonna see an example of Peyton Talbot here, where
Ah,
lost to the one guy. Everyone's hyping him up. It's like a fan favorite here. So I think we see a fraud check. I think Rosas gets out grappled, really kind of smashed. He gets dominated all 3 rounds. Maybe not a finish, but he definitely will be a little bit more humble after this fight. So I'm gonna say Font, unanimous decision, and it's gonna be straight control time from Font.
he can't take too much more damage to his nose. That thing's fucked up. He looks like a muppet. He looks like a muppet.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go the exact opposite of what Chase said. So Rosas, I think they're just feeding him Rob Font. I think that Dana has a lot of like cushion underneath Rosas. He's got that privilege. So I see him, I see him winning split decision. I don't see him doing anything crazy. I just see him. He's pretty good with grappling. So I see him doing what Chase said Font would do. I see him controlling the fight and keeping him on the cage, hanging in half guard, that kind of stuff. So Rosas split decision. He's going to be cracking in the rankings here after this one. So
Ooh, we got twin versus twin on this one.
All right, I'll go next. I'm going Rob Font on this one. I kind of more to what Chase was saying was that I think Rob is a way better boxer. He's going to know how to keep his distance. I think he's going to use that to kind of keep Rojas backing up, because if he's stepping forwards when his wrestling's going to be, and takedown efficiency is going to be at its highest is when he's pushing. If Rob Font keeps him backing up with his boxing, pieces him up, I'm seeing Rob Font here win by decision. That's where I'm leaning towards. I just don't. Raul's going to try to shoot. I'd say in the first round, you'll see him start shooting takedowns, spamming him. So I think that's where it's leaning here. I'm going Rob Font by decision.
Makes sense. I'm taking Paul Rosas because I hate anyone over the age of born after 1990. Personal vendetta. Rob Font is also a dumb name. If you can't spell out the whole name Robert, can you really be actually a fighter? I mean, you're so dumb. You have a 3-letter name, and I just can't support a 3-letter name. So,
My uncle's name is Rob.
but he's Uncle Rob. That's like a thing. This guy's just Rob. Hey, here comes Rob.
He can be someone's uncle.
Is he?
I don't know his life story.
I don't know. I just don't like it. I think he's too old. Don't care for it.
All right, so Tommy's going. We got 2-2. 2 taking Rob Font, 2 taking Raul Rosas. Weird.
Chiwiwis, baby.
I like a little division. Yeah, oh yeah, Chiwiwis.
Chiwiwi. I actually have a picture with Chiwiwis because I met him at International Fight Week. All right, the next matchup, we have a solid matchup, to be honest with you. Caio Borralho. That's probably how it's said, I think. Wins, losses, is 17-2 with 1 no contest. Average fight time, about the distance of a fight, to be honest. 6'1", coming in at 75-inch reach. He fights southpaw. He is versing, I think he's South African, Rainier de Ridder. He's 21-3, 6'4", 185, and his reach is 78, having a 3-inch reach advantage. Fights also out of the southpaw position. He is the older fighter by 3 years. He is coming off a loss to Brandon Allen, and the Fighting Nerd is coming off a fight to Imavov, both off losses. I'll go ahead and jump first because I haven't started yet.
Sure.
I just like him better, I guess. Bigger fan of him. Caio, both of their fight times leans toward being in the 3rd round if they do get a finish, or it's going to be a decision. I do think it's going to be an exciting fight. I don't know if Rainier usually shoots a lot of takedowns, a lot of grappling. Does he want to do that with Caio, who is also a very good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner? I think most of his finishes are via submission and not knockout, even though he's pretty strong. I'm going with Caio here by decision because I think Rainier, even on the opposite end of grappling, I think he's probably a little too smart to get tapped out, but I think he can survive, even if Caio's in the aggressor position. So I'm going with Caio here by decision.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
I think this is a good one. And I think it's a good one for RDR. I think it's his redemption fight. And I don't know if you guys saw this picture, but this dude is like absolutely shredded right now.
Wowzers.
I would say he needed it because he wilted it under Allen. Brendan Allen just took the energy out of him. He had nothing left in that last.
His whole system went kaput. So I think we see a different RDR. I see him getting Caio down and smashing him. And honestly, I see him taking his lights out with a sub. I think we're going to see a reverse triangle from RDR, and RDR is going to be he's going to be back on track. I think he's just one of those guys that, once he gets that momentum going again, he'll be set. So that picture right there speaks for itself of him coming back and like being in the shape that he's in. He put his head down for 8 or 9 months and just went to work. So we're going to see a different RDR coming out on this one.
What round?
I say second round.
I'm
Second.
I'm gonna follow up with that. I agree. I think RDR is a different animal. I mean, you're talking about a champion, a former champion in the one series promotion. So when you're a champion, your mindset is a little bit different. And anyone that has ever like been a champion knows what it takes to get back to being a champion.
That's coming from a champion. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu belt holder.
So anyway, I think he's definitely dealt with some stuff, and yeah, his system was bad, and I think they in an interview or something he was dealing with some like
Red blood cells,
yeah
like low red blood cells.
yeah. So I think he's redefined. I'm not gonna say specifically what the submission would be, but I think I'm gonna. Is this a 5-rounder? I'm not for sure.
I know it's the co-main. Check and see if it says on the over-under. Because I think both of them are coming off 5-rounders. Because
3-round.
RDR was fought Brendan Allen. That was 5 because it was the main event.
It's only 3.
And Kaio was in the main event against Imavov.
So that makes a difference. If it's a 5-rounder, I would see RDR kind of cooking him the same way Allen cooked him.
Yeah.
But I see RDR dominating grappling. I see a submission, not round 2, but round 3, RDR. Kaio's good, and he actually might get outstruck a little bit too, but he didn't impress me very much with Imavov. But I know also too he wants to get back for the fighting nerds. So I don't know. We'll see. I got RDR though, submission.
It'll be a good one.
I think Kaio's been training in Vegas with is it Killcliff? No, Killcliff's in Florida. Is Killcliff in Florida? Extreme Couture. Yeah, Sean Strickland's camp. He's been there training. So I think also didn't Sean Strickland fight RDR? That might have been. No. Never mind.
RDR broke bow though. Nickel. It was really bad.
Oh yeah, bad, very bad, and he beat Bobby Knuckles too.
I saw Kaio's fight camp. He was doing like ground and pound, and the whole gym was cheering him on. I was kind of like, I don't know about that. But it was
Kind of lame.
That's a little much.
a little cringy though. I was kind of like, what is going on?
What do you got, Tom?
Right now, Vegas has RDR as the heavy underdog at plus 215,
Oh,
and Cowell at minus 290.
now, I was knowing that with Vegas, I kind of lean toward RDR more now, but I'm going to stick with my pick. But knowing that it's opposite, I'm leaning toward RDR to upset.
See, I'm leaning with you with Kao. How do you say his name?
Kaio.
Because RDR is 6'4". He's 3 inches taller than me, and I do not care for that. Kaio is 6'1". He's closer to my height. I can better.
I know he's like a guy's guy. He's relatable.
Yeah.
This other guy's a giant. Gets nosebleeds from walking around.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna root for people that are taller.
I like Tommy's perspective.
I like Tommy's like outlook on things.
I can't let him be better than me. Out there winning fights too.
Absolutely, I'm a pro hater. Very good at it.
All right, so we have all the picks in for that one. It is 2-2 on that one again. Split the Pod against the Morgan.
Yeah.
Pod against Fearless. All right, for the main event, what everyone is excited for, we have Max Holloway, the BMF belt champion, putting it on the line against Chucky O, Charles Oliveira. Charles is coming in 36-11 and 1 no contest. Average fight time, 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Not bad. He's I think he's got the most finishes in UFC history. I think that's the stat. He is 5'10", coming in with a 74-inch reach. He is fighting out of the orthodox stance. He is the older fighter by 2 years. Max Holloway's coming in at 27-8. Average fight time is 16 minutes. Height, 5'11". Reach, 69 inches. He is 5 inches shorter on reach. But he is coming off of a great 5-rounder with Poirier, where he looked way better than the fighter in Poirier's retirement fight. And also is the only one to knock out Justin Gaethje. So, are we starting this time? We start. Tommy, you started.
Me start this.
Tommy, please.
I personally hate Charles Oliveira because
You can't hate Chucky O, man. That's ridiculous.
when I had UFC 2 installed on my Xbox, a guy beat me and taunted me really hard, and then sent me a thing and got me banned because I said it would slide back. And ever since then, I had to delete the game. Made me too frustrated. So I'm a big Max Holloway guy on this fight. I think he's gonna take it. And yeah.
All right. I'm going to go. I'll be honest, I'm very big fans of both of them, especially Chucky O. He's been on the wrong side of some fights here recently, but he did beat Michael Chandler, but who hasn't? Everyone's got to win off Mike. Max Holloway, I can say this probably for the UFC fighters, is the best boxer in the UFC. The highlight tape he put against Calvin Kattar, that's not even his best fight that he has, is just unreal. The head movement, how he saw every punch coming at him. I think he's the best boxer in the UFC. Charles had a really big problem with Topuria, who's probably the second best, if not rivals Max in boxing. He had a real bad issue with it, especially, I think, when he got knocked out against Topuria, he was almost shooting a takedown to where he moved into the punch. I think Max Holloway can see it with similar success.
Yeah, I know.
I'm leaning toward Max Holloway decision because I think Chucky does have a good chin, but also he did just get dropped and he's coming off of a loss. So I'm going to go Max Holloway here, and if I have to pick how it ends, I'm going to go knockout because I saw that he's preparing for the point down. And I think if it does go to that, as much as Charles practices, I think Max Holloway wins that exchange. So I'm going Max Holloway by knockout.
I think this is another one. I think in the last show I gave you two different scenarios, so I'm gonna try to give you guys two different scenarios as well. Actually, I said Patty last time.
That was a heartbreaker for everyone.
Yeah, and I also said too that if Gaethje goes 5 with him, he'll outstrike him. So I think it's gonna be the same type of concept here. I think if you see Charles get to that grappling, which is his best, he can actually probably out-grapple Max, but it's gonna take those takedowns. It's gonna take that forward pressure that he had against Gamrot. If he decides to strike with him, then he's going to lose this battle, like you just said, Jay. So he'll lose by significant strikes, and he'll take a lot of damage. So, but Charles, I see him as well. He actually did this route very well, in my opinion, get knocked out the way he did against Topuria, and then game planning, beating Gamrot, and then making his call out for this. I think that's what makes him a legend, and I think Max is a legend too in his own respect. And then you go back and you think of Max fighting Dustin and the way he took out Dustin too. So, I mean, it could go either way. I'm gonna say, but if I have to pick one, I'm gonna pick right now. I'm gonna say just because I love Chucky, I'm gonna say Charles Oliveira, round 3, rear naked choke, stamp it.
All right.
Yeah, I like it. I like Chase's take there. And I think I don't want it to. I want to be like 100% on my pick. So I think we need to backtrack though, and we need to think about Holloway Oliveira in the first fight, where like
Fighters think about this too,
many years ago, where Oliveira had to
This is it too.
yeah, he said, I'm done. He got hurt. Oliveira wants that win back, and Max doesn't think about that, a fight like that.
Yeah.
So I know many years fast forward here, and Oliveira's thinking about, man, I got to get that win back. So I think it comes down to who wants it more, and Oliveira definitely, I think, wants it more at the end of the day. And I think what he's going to do is he's going to shut down the striking. He wasn't able to do it against Ilya, but I think we'll see something similar where he actually keeps him on the ground, controls him. Maybe Max will sit him to his butt, but Charles is always there, welcoming his opponents in that guard. So I could easily see round 4 where Charles has got Max in his web, and I think, like Chase said, I think we see round 4 rear naked choke where Oliveira gets the BMF belt, and it's a good way for him to. I don't know if he wants to retire, but if he gets that belt, I think that would be best for Charles and his legacy, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think some of the deciding factor here for me to stay toward Holloway is for as many fights as he's had in the UFC, I think he's still only like 33.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and he's been in the UFC since he was like 20 years old, which is crazy. And to
Yeah.
do it at such a high level for that long, 7 strikes per minute output. But yeah, I definitely see y'all's in. Like I said, I'm not dissing Charles. I'm a huge Chucky O fan. But
Charles isn't afraid to walk forward either. He could walk forward just like he did against Ilya and get clipped just as easy with a shot.
and
So
with y'all's point here, I'm wondering if what the fight is changes whether Oliveira goes to his wrestling or not. And submissions is that it's the BMF belt, and people get sucked into people want knockouts, so it
That's
becomes
true.
a boxing match.
That's true.
yeah, I can definitely see that at the end of the fight as well. Him getting kind of caught into Max's web where he does the point down. And Charles said it. He's not afraid to go ahead and bang with
I've
him
seen
too.
tape where he's actually practiced it in camp, like being in a pocket, not moving the feet.
He's a
Got no
gamer.
success there. So, maybe I've also seen Charles striking sometimes unconventional, which if you're a precise striker like Max is, unconventional guys can throw you off because they don't throw that way. So they don't time it for the appropriate amount of time because it's just like wide or thrown weird, thrown from the hip sometimes. So that can sometimes give Max problems too. So maybe Charles will find success there.
Yeah.
But that wraps us up for our picks, guys. Thank you for joining us. Keep us in the loop about future fights.
Yes,
And,
sir.
when this season ends, we plan on coming out to Fearless for some wrestling. We'll also plan on coming out to BJJ and get some stuff.
It's
So
being recorded.
yeah, this is being recorded. We're gonna have to live up to that.
Do you guys see Nogi? Nogi?
You guys see him in the pictures?
Oh, Nogi, yeah. I didn't know. I
I
thought
got a gi. I'm gonna wear the gi.
Oh, I'm gonna wear the gi.
Don't wear the
They can
gi.
choke you out with your gi.
It's part of it's part of this.
We're not doing gi chokes. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. We will catch you next time.
Later.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.